This is the practice test for Western Iowa Tech Summer 2015 practice test for Excel. And I've downloaded the file from our website, and the instructions for sheet 1 are on these first two worksheets here, and we'll just go through them, and I will change the color of the instructions as we carry them out. So save the file on my desktop with last name, first name, stock. So file, save as, and let me see, I want to go to desktop, and I want last name, first name, stocks. This is, I've already got this file out there by that name, so I just click on it, type save, and yes, I want to replace it. Okay, change the name of sheet 1 to stocks. Just double click on the sheet down here and type stocks right on top of it, and you're good. Okay, now I'm going to change those two to black. Delete row 5 and merge and center A1 all the way over to note. So right click on row 5 here and do a delete, and center, merge and center this all the way over to the note column, which is column J, and do a merge and center. Okay, that takes care of those two. Make them black. Set the font for the entire worksheet to 10-point Verdana and make cell A1 a title style. So let's do 10-point Verdana. And type VER, actually just VE was enough, and hit enter, and everything is Verdana now, and then click on this one, and we want this to be a title style. Okay. Set the height of the headings, row 4 to 45. So let's go to row 4 here and just right click and choose row height and put in 45 and hit enter. Okay, now we've still got some problems here. We can't see everything, but we'll fix that in a minute, I think. Set the style to heading 3 and turn on wrap text. So let's go here, and I want this stuff to be heading 3. I want to turn on wrap text for those, and then make sure that no words are split here, and it turns out that they do not split when I do that. So let's do that, make it black, and add the file name to the left part of the footer. So let's go back here, and if I go to page layout, and I'm going to have to go click on my dialog box launcher here, and then go to the header and footer, and I want to go to the custom footer, and in the bottom left section I want to put file name. Click on OK, click on OK, and if I were to do a print preview now, which I'm not going to do, but you can feel free to do it, I would see file name at the bottom. Okay, now let's go on to the rest of the sheet 1 instructions. Total purchase price is shares times the purchase price per share. So total purchase price equals shares, just click on it, times purchase price per share. Click on it. The final formula is equal C5 times D5. Hit enter, and that is my total purchase price. Then I want total current price by multiplying shares by the current price per share. And then I want to figure profit or loss by subtracting purchase price from the current price. So current price is going to be, and I'm using the arrow keys, D5 times, wrong number here, C5 to 2,000 times the current price per share, which is E5, and hit enter. And then profit or loss. Now this has a loss, right? So I want to have a negative number here. So I take this minus this. So equals this minus this. And parentheses are one way of indicating negative numbers. So now let's select all of those, and let's copy them all the way down to the bottom of the yellow. And let's go back here, and we've done those first 3 lines, and I want to go back here and make them black. Calculate the sum of the total purchase price column, put it at the bottom. Same with total current price, same with profit or loss. So we can do that pretty much in one command here. Let's just select all those cells and go to our auto sum and choose sum. And if I should always double click here and make sure, and it's summing through F34. Well, there's nothing in F34, so technically that's not a big deal. Same thing here and same thing here. Now, pound signs mean that this column is not wide enough. That's not a problem though, because I'm going to get rid of some of these decimal places here in a minute, so we won't worry about that. So we just did all 3 of those at once. Now I want to know each stock's percent of the total portfolio by dividing the current price by the total value at the bottom of the current price. So let me see. So that would be equals this divided by the number at the bottom. And that must be an absolute cell reference, which means I have to put the dollar signs in. And you can either type them in, so it's $G, $35, or you just hit function key F4, and that will put the dollar signs in for you. Hit enter, and now let's copy that all the way down. Okay, and let's flip back over here, and so we've done that. Notice that's 2 points. The dollar sign business is kind of important with absolute cell references. Format I, G, and H with comma and 0, and I as a percent. So let's do F, G, and H. Comma 0 decimal places, so bounce on the decreased decimal twice. And this stuff is supposed to be, just drag the mouse over those numbers, and that's supposed to be a percent, and I think it said 2 decimal places, so it should look like that. Yes, percent with 2 decimal places. Calculate the sum of the percentage of total portfolio column and put the result in the totals row. It should be 100%. So right down here, I want a sum, and I'm going to have a problem here because it's going to guess wrong. It always looks for the closest numbers, and those are closer than these. So I just have to drag my mouse over the numbers that I want it to sum and hit enter, and it should give me 100%. And look at that, it's nice enough to format it the way it formatted the other numbers here too. Okay, so that takes care of that. And in the note column, I want a plus if it shows a profit, a minus if it shows a loss. Well, I don't know if it showed a profit or loss. Well, if this number is greater than 0, then it's a profit, otherwise it's a loss. So that's going to be the if function. And let's go to our formulas tab here, and if is a logical function. And we need to provide 3 things. A logical test is the profit or loss greater than 0? And if it is, then I want to put a plus sign there. If it's not, I want to put a minus sign there. And notice when you tab out or click out of one of these cells, Excel is nice enough to put quotation marks around your text that you put there. Click on OK. And that one had a loss. It went down 7,000, so there should be a minus sign there. The next one should show a plus sign. Let's just copy it down, and it does. So it looks like we're probably doing the right thing here. And those are our pluses and minuses all the way down. Now let's go back over here. And put a formula that will count the number of stocks showing a profit, and another one that'll show the number of stocks having a loss. Okay, and there's 2 ways to do that actually. Actually, there's more than 2. But that's going to be the count if function down here. So let's go to my formulas tab, and that is a statistical function, I believe, and count if. Okay, and I got to tell it what I want to count. Now, actually, I guess there's just 2 ways. I can look at this column and see if it's greater than 0, and that'll be a profit, or I can look at this column and see if it's equal to a plus. I'll do the number column here. Whoops. And the criteria is that number greater than 0? So just type greater than 0 in there, and notice when you click out of here, it turns it into a string character or text with quotation marks around it. Click on OK, and it looks like 20 of them showed a profit. I have 29 stocks altogether, so now I want to do a count if on the ones that showed a loss. So let's go to statistical and do count if, and this time the range is going to be the same, and the criteria is going to be less than 0. And again, when I tab out, the quotation marks appear to make it into a text, and click on OK, and they should add up to 29, and they do. So chances are I did that correctly. If you want to verify, you can go over here and count how many numbers do not have parentheses around them. So that takes care of those 2. Center align the category in the note column and change the name in the header to your name. So the category here and the note column both need to be centered. That's easy. Do a control click to do the non-adjacent selection. And what was I going to do? I was going to put my name in the header. Okay, so go to this dialog box launcher for page setup and go to header and footer. And I want a custom header. And in the right side, just drag your mouse over my name and put yours there. Since it's already got my name there, I don't need to make any changes. Okay, let's go back to our instructions here. And I've done those two. I can make those black. And put a formula in B2 that will always display the current date. So there's B2. And there's two ways to do that. There is the now function and the today function. If all I want is the date and I don't care about the time, I can use the today function, and that works just fine. Make all the columns as wide as they need to be. Well, actually, it appears that that's not a problem now that I've formatted my numbers. Do a print preview. I want landscape centered horizontally without grid lines, and I want to make sure it fits on a page. So let's go to File, Print, and there's 4 things I got to do there. I've got to change it from portrait to landscape. I want to, darn it, I want to be on this sheet. File, Print Preview. And I want the orientation to be landscape, and it still doesn't fit. I want to scale it to fit, so fit it on one page or fit all columns on one page. Actually, I want to fit the whole thing on one page because there's also some stuff that was falling off the bottom down here. If you go, and yeah, so let's change that. Fit the sheet on one page. It'll make everything a little bit smaller. And I do want to center it then horizontally. That's on page setup here, and that's on margins. And I want to center it horizontally. And the other thing was to remove the grid lines. The grid lines are on the sheet tab here, and click on OK. And there it is. And that's long enough for our first video. We'll finish the practice test on the second video.